guys, what's up? It's Mihika and I am filming this for the second time, but today I'm going to be showing you some works that I've done at Lasalle over the past 3 years during my diploma. Before we start, I just want to say that I'm pretty sure that looking at some of these I am going to cringe because I'm pretty sure that I am much better at design now. But of course it's all a process and the whole thing is for you to learn. Everything that you do in school is for you to learn, so me cringing about all of this is totally normal. Also, I just want to say that I am pretty sure that they've changed the program structure since my first year. So if you're a first year or a future first year, I just want to say that the assignments that I do might not be the exact same things that you're doing or you will do because of the change in the program structure. But that doesn't mean that whatever I show you isn't helpful to you guys, because you'll just get a general sense about whatever it is that you're gonna learn here at Lasalle. I mean, technically I don't think I can say here at Lasalle because I'm not studying there anymore, but you get what I mean. So let's just start. So the first thing that I'm gonna show you is huge, and it is an exercise folder from year 1 semester 1, and I value this folder and all its contents a lot because I feel like whatever we learned during this time was really building the foundations of design and really helping us understand the 7 design principles in depth, because these are things that you're gonna have to use for the rest of your life, or rather the rest of your design career. Depends, you might change your career, but yeah, so we just had to explore the design principles through various exercises. So that's what we did in year 1 semester 1. And then moving on to studios year 1 semester 2, another folder. This one we did some stuff that was a little more specifically graphic design related. So the first semester was mainly for all design students, so whether you were learning fashion or interior or whatever, we did most of the same assignments, and we were all in like mixed classes. But then in semester 2 we went into our individual specifications and stuff, and then we did some stuff like labeling typography, learning things like what is an ascender, and just understanding typography a bit better. This is all traced, by the way, so like we had to like trace a printout of something and then just write the things ourselves. Same thing with sans serif font. And yeah, there's a lot of type exploration, not exploration but like analysis, I'd say. All of this like freehand drawn, by the way. It looks printed because I use like marker and stuff, but it's all drawn by hand. And then we just had some manual kerning exercises, like using individual letters and then placing them and seeing the distance between each letter so that the word is legible and easy to read. It's funny that I'm showing you this exercise because I had to do it in uni as well, even though I'm like I had a head start because I got some credit exemptions because of my diploma. By the way, keep watching if you guys want to know where I'm going for university. And then the last project, like the main project really of year 1 studio, was that we had to create an album cover, and we were given a few songs to choose from, and I chose This Is America by Childish Gambino. And while the song played, we just had to like sketch stuff and like talk, like sort of transfer what we're hearing onto paper. So that was like one exercise that we did. And then just explore some things like taking letters from his name or the name of the song and then transferring them into various textures and using different mediums and stuff like that. This was a really fun project, but it was definitely the most amateurish project that I've ever done, and I didn't know much about design, and I feel like I wasn't involved in design culture as much. So I'm just gonna show you what it is, but let me tell you, I would never make something like this. Also, I didn't know so many things in year 1, and I request you to, whenever you're confused about something, just search it up, because your future self is gonna be so happy. I didn't know how to scan something at 300 plus dpi, and that's why my album cover is of such horrible quality. Now that I think of it, it sounds like a stupid thing, like how did you not know? But back then I seriously didn't know all of these things. So this is the cover. I have no idea why I use like the stippling effect and everything, but I think visually it's interesting, but I'd obviously choose something else. Like there's so much that I could express, because this song is actually really cool. I mean, it's wonderful. Again, font choice, I'd like never use this font. I think it's called Kangthrep. Yeah, ew. But a good effort, I guess, for someone who hadn't designed anything before. This is what the back looks like. Also, I didn't know how to create silhouettes of people in Photoshop, so I think I used Illustrator to like outline the whole thing. Yeah. Now moving on to other subjects that we had in year 1. We had this class. We had 2 classes, 2D and 3D, and now I don't really remember whether both of them happened in the same semester or we had them one in each semester. But I'm just going to show you a few things that we did in that. So in one of our 3D classes, we created this apple. Please tell me it's focusing. Out of paper, and it can like collapse. So it's like flat, and then you can... It's really interesting, but I think it pissed off a lot of people because it takes a lot of precision in terms of cutting and stuff. This project pissed me off a lot. We were given this building that already exists here in Singapore, and we had to recreate it using a milk carton, but we could use only one milk carton. So you can't like search for other materials, and everything had to be like precise. And we learned about like cutting things and die cut and stuff like that through this project. It looks horrible, honestly. I don't think you guys can like see too much detail, but definitely great for all the skills that we learned from it. So I don't regret doing this, but I don't think it was a waste of time. And now to show you some journals from year 1. Oh, also by the way, I forgot to mention that if you're studying the course now, your journals won't be like actual physical journals. Everything will be a Google Doc, which is so sad because I know what it's like. You know, I had to work on these physical journals as well as Google Doc because I studied the course both pre and post COVID. So yeah, it sucks, but I guess you have to make the most of it. But I guess through this video you guys can see what you could have done if COVID didn't exist and you were here in person and creating these physical journals. This was semester 1. You can't really see what it says. It just says my name and my class and stuff. Not very interesting, but so much hands-on stuff. Like everything is like 3-dimensional, and this is how thick it is, like my hand for reference. Lots of 3-dimensional stuff. I'd like stick everything in there, and things were so much more experimental. So we also had to do things where you have to like observe other images and stuff that you find. I just found another journal. This is 2D studies. Pretty interesting. Look at that. That just looks so interesting. Like I wish I could work on stuff like this now. I mean, I can. I mean, nobody's stopping me. An absolute beauty here. Look at that. The time and patience that it takes to do this is something else entirely. And I honestly miss it because it was so therapeutic. You just sit there painting with your friends, mixing colors. Sometimes being stupid, I'd mix 2 colors and expect it to become something else. More stuff like that. So it's more of like a color study sort of class. So now let's move on to year 2. I am first going to show you this big box that I have here. So we had a class called Creative Workshop, and in that we had to create stuff like this. We painted different patterns and stuff using black and white, and then we had to transfer them onto a template of 3-dimensional shapes like this. So this is just one of those. We had to do a packaging project. I think this was the second semester or something, and this is definitely a project that I'm not too proud of, but honestly it's all a process, you know, a learning process, so there's nothing wrong with not being proud of every single project that you do in school. The first version that I have, basically it was a packaging for dogs. It was soothing tea for dogs, so I know that's like really vague, and somehow we had to encapsulate that in our packaging. So this is the first one. You know, it just says some stuff. This was supposed to be the name assuage. I don't even know why they chose such a weird word like that, but when you open it, these are like the different flavors, and then you can like put your tea bags in there. I mean, technically they come in there, and then if you want you can just keep the packaging, and then if you use other brands of tea or human tea, you can use this. And I think that's the main thing that I wanted. I just wanted people to not throw away the packaging, and I think in theory this was a really good concept of mine, and the project would have been great if I would have given it a little more attention. In year 2, again, we had something very similar to that. In creative workshop, you just had to explore things by hand, and textures of things, and the whole physical aspect of things like paper. So we just did some die cut, like handmade die cut. So this isn't all like machine done. I've done that by hand. This is called hot stamping. And there's embossing here that I highly doubt I'll be able to show you because oh, I think you can look see it. So we did that by hand. So embossing, usually you need a machine and it's pretty expensive, but we cheated our way through it. I mean, we were taught by the teachers how to cheat our way through it. Then in year 2 we had photography, which I think year 1s already have as their subject, so you don't have to wait till year 2 to start studying photography. And we had to make a zine, a fashion zine, and I chose to focus on traditional Indian fashion because why the hell not? And this is what the cover looks like. It says this is Desi. I was pretty against people using this font just to express Indian stuff, but then I ended up using it myself, like okay. And then again on the inside I used it. I'd say the layout of this is pretty okay. I'm not totally proud of it, and I feel like I did it in a rush, but I'm pretty proud of the pictures. This is like some jewelry. So that's what the photography zine was. And then another photography project we had, this was before this one, so this was semester 1, and then the one I showed you was semester 2. I just decided to explore Haji Lane. I think we just had to explore a certain place and take pictures of it and just focus on like composition and color and stuff like that. So here are just some simple pictures. Honestly, I'm not too proud of this project, but as my first photography project and like my first ever photo zine, I've done a pretty good job. Definitely my favorite spread. There's so much color here. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, just some stuff that I found in and around Haji Lane. Oh, the first, other than the album cover from year one, the first ever design project that I worked on was a publication. So this, what we had to do is research on a designer that they provided us. So we had like a few designers that we could choose from, I think, and we had to research about them, and it was just a book about them and their works. So this is just like a flip through. This is what the inside of the book looks like, and the layout isn't as amateurish as I now expect it to be. Like, it's pretty good for the first time of doing a publication design. Oh, and then now we have one of my favorite projects ever. This is this huge book that I bound myself, and every single thing in this I've made by myself. Basically, we had to do mark making, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically something you've probably done before. You know how you take a coin under a piece of paper and then you scribble on the paper, and then the coin surface or the texture shows up on the paper because you know you colored it with pencil. So that's somewhat what we had to do, and you had to explore loads of different textures that you find here and there. Like, for example, this is just a leaf, and that was just one part of it. We also had to explore using different mediums like ink and stuff like using a cup and ink instead of using a paintbrush or a nib. What could you possibly do with that? What sort of patterns could you come up with? And yeah, honestly, this book is pretty fragile, and I already broke a part of it, but just want you guys to see a little bit about it. And obviously, exploring all of these different types of textures helps you, because let's say you're going in the music industry and you're helping people create album covers. Those textures could relate to whatever these singers are singing about, and then you could use them. And I think it trained us for exploring things that are right around us that can be utilized in design, can also be digitalized and used in whatever design project that we're working on. Another project that I really loved, basically we were given the story. You can pause to read. Okay, so I'm sorry that ended abruptly, but I had to take a break to charge my battery. Anyway, what I was showing you guys was this accordion zine that I made in year 2, and I don't know if I showed you already, but this is the story. You guys can pause to read it. And basically we could choose only one color other than black and white to use, and what we had to do was illustrate the story through illustrations. And other than that, we also had to choose a post-production technique, and I decided to die cut. So this moon and everything is all like cut by hand. All this stuff is cut by hand. So whenever you see white, most of the times when you see white in the accordion, it's all cut by hand, and there's like a layer in the back. It was definitely a really fun project to do. This is what the entire spread looks like. I just decided to take a minute to get a thumbnail in because that looked pretty cool. But yeah, that's what I showed in terms of year 2. I want to show you guys some journals that I have from year 2. So if you guys remember, I showed you my publication project, and I'm just gonna keep some stuff away. And here is the journal for that project. It's probably the biggest journal that I've made yet. This is a comparison to my face. It's crazy. It's really heavy too. I could totally use it for weightlifting. And there's so much research that's in everything. You know, I'd like annotate. Oh, now that I think of it, this isn't even like for the full semester. This is actually the second journal for the semester because it starts abruptly. Yeah, I was pretty crazy with my journals during my diploma. Yeah, so I'd like annotate all the pages, all the spreads that I work on, and based on like feedback that I got from my teachers or any feedback that I got from my peers. And then there's a lot of research and stuff that goes into it, and I have this mock-up of the publication design, which is crazy. I am going to make some space here so that I can show you guys. I did an accordion fold so that everything is easier to like place in the book, and this is what it is. It's longer than this. My arms just won't go higher. This is crazy, and I did the whole annotation thing again. I think it was really helpful because putting tracing paper and then flipping it and still being able to see the actual layout and everything was really cool. I also had an interesting page where, oh my god, you could like flip through the different types of papers that I was considering for this project. So flipping through meant like you can get a preview of what it's going to be like when you're flipping through the actual book. So what you're exploring here is the thickness of the paper and what it would feel like when it's actually in your hands, the whole physicality of it, which is funny that I say that because obviously now during the pandemic I would have never been able to work on a project like this and show these sort of things, because even if I were to work on a publication project, nobody would actually be touching it because of, you know, the virus. So yeah, and then the next project we had to create a calendar, and I actually used the calendar. I'm just gonna go get it. So I still use this calendar, except I don't write anything on it because I still want to preserve it as like a design artifact. But this is what it looks like. It has like this plastic sheet with stuff printed on it, and the numbers like correspond to the number of the month. So right now is August. Is it August? It's August. Okay, it's August. You can like flip it and then you can write down stuff like doctor's appointment at 8 on like the 11th of August or whatever, stuff like that. Okay, now I think we can move on to year 3. If there's anything left to show for year 1 and year 2, I'll just throw it in later. Because COVID had already started and year 3 started in September 2020, most of the things were all online. So our project was also a digital project, so that, you know, there's minimal physical contact with whatever we're working on, and the teachers when they have to grade it. So even the journal, I couldn't remember the word, even the journal had to go online, which sucks because, you know, after seeing some of my journals, I'm pretty sure you must have gotten a little excited, because especially if you love hands-on stuff, like, you know, it sort of feels like a craft, honestly, and that element of craft is taken away from you. And honestly, in the Google Doc, which is the online CPJ, it just becomes text and then some pictures and then text and then some pictures, and it's so boring to go through, but that's what the pandemic has made us do, and we obviously can't really avoid it. But that's what year 3 was really like for journals, for every assignment really. So the first assignment for studio was to create a website based on a poet or a poem or something like that, and I chose Emily Dickinson. If I have any scroll through videos or anything, I'll put it up here. Obviously I don't have like a physical thing to show you. And in the first semester I also took a typography class, so it was more of a it was called experimental typography, and we had to design our own typeface, which was really, really fun. And we had to create a type specimen zine, which I display here on my work desk all the time, and I'm pretty proud of this project. Would have probably changed a few things, but it's not that bad. So my typeface is called Brisa, which means breeze in Spanish. And the reason for that is that this typeface is based on the architecture by a Bolivian architect called Freddy Mamani. And basically in this zine I just show you stuff like about him, about Brisa, and then just some of his works. I don't know if it's like focusing, but yeah, and then just like a closer look at I thought I opened the page. Closer look at the letters and stuff, at the letter forms, looking at things, how they're cut, what the slants are like, and blah 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 blah, stuff like that. And then there's like this physical aspect to it, which is gonna be very difficult for me to show and it's kind of confusing, so I'm just gonna totally skip over that. Then my other minor for semester 2 was motion graphics. So if I find a file for that, I'll just put it in. If not, now's the chance for me to promote my design account, because those projects are there on my Instagram account, which is mihika.design. So I'll probably link that. I actually always do, so you can check that out and check the assignment over there. And now next we move on to my most favorite project ever. It was a branding project, so definitely like a huge project. And what I chose was a mini waffle maker, and I wanted to base it around this whole TikTok trend that I saw, where people were creating all kinds of waffles, like cake waffles, brownie waffles, pizza waffles, in that mini waffle maker. Unfortunately, I haven't even used it yet, and it's been months since like the project ended, so I guess now this is a reminder for me to finally put it to some use. But this is what the packaging looks like, and I am awfully proud of it. I paid a certain amount of money to print this, which I'm not gonna say because it's embarrassingly high, but I think because I felt like I put so much effort into this, it totally was worth it, and I'm definitely gonna cherish this project and keep it with me for a really long time. So the front of the packaging is just, you know, the waffle maker and then waffle, and then just trying to show what sort of world you'd be introduced to if you buy the waffle maker. So it's like fun, it's colorful, and you've got this interesting, intricate dining setup there where there's a lot of possibilities to what you could do and stuff like that. This is what it looks like when you open it. Like, you have to open it, I'm sorry if that's like blurred, but this is how you open it, and then you open it like this. But before I do that, I just want to show you the sides. So the sides just has some like quotes or information about the waffle maker. The front just says "Bon appetit, my friend," and this is an instruction to download the app that I created. Obviously, I just created a prototype, which was like a recipe app, so you could share recipes that you have, because as I said, I wanted to base this entire project on the fact that you could create crazy waffle recipes. So once you open this, on the inside you have some stickers that I made, and I made sure to relate these stickers to the waffle maker in some way or the other. So as this was it was like based off TikTok trends and everything, this sticker says "Making waffles is easier than the renegade dance." Obviously this is a very old TikTok trend, but something that everyone knows, so I just decided to include that. This says "Bestie, I'm a snack," because a lot of people use the word bestie now. Just simple illustration of a smiley because it fits the vibe. Okay, this is the same sticker again. Then this cute little waffle man that I created, sort of like a mascot. Oh my god. And then just a peace sign, because why the hell not? And I'm pretty sure I made a few more designs, but I don't really see them. I also created these things that were that I was inspired by, which were inspired by photo cards. So, you know, you put them in transparent phone cases or transparent laptop cases. So just cute stuff like this that works as guerrilla marketing. So people ask you, they're like, "Where did you get that?" And you're like, "Oh, I got it from this brand called Crunch." Oh, by the way, if you didn't realize, the waffle maker brand is called Crunch. And they're like, I got it from Crunch. And then this person who asked goes and searches up what Crunch is, and then they're like, "Okay, I like this," and then they buy it. So that's what these stickers and stuff help you do. Then there's like a note-taking one. There are a lot of designs, honestly, but I'm not going to go through everything. And then I also created a manual. So let me just take that out. So this is what the manual looks like, and okay, the manual just gave birth to more stickers. Professional waffle eater. Can you see that? I think you can. Another one of the same thing. And this one just says "Stack 'em, stack 'em, stack 'em." Yeah. Okay, so about the manual, this is what the manual looks like. Obviously I was going for a vibe where it looks really vibrant and crazy, fits the brand personality, and isn't boring the way so many manuals are. They're just black and white and like nobody wants to read them because everyone thinks that they're too smart. So this also helps you you know, oh my god, someone just screamed outside. I hope you guys didn't hear that. But this helps you actually read the manual because the graphics are interesting. You're like, what's that? Let's see it. And then you actually read it, and then you actually take care of your waffle maker. So that's sort of what the thought process was behind that. So we've got some like fun graphics inside. I love the copywriting and stuff that I did for this as well. There's stuff like, I know you ain't basic, but you gotta follow these basic do's and don'ts. And then there's just like some do's, like do this, do that, and then don't do this, don't do that, stuff like that. Yeah, there's nothing specific to show more. Oh wait, and then there is this QR code that can help you download the app. Honestly, I just submitted a prototype. I didn't have to like actually code the app or anything. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show. This is definitely my most favorite project ever, and I'm so proud of it. And I hope that I can challenge myself to make things that are even better than this one. And yeah, that's all I have to show for today. I probably already said that before. I just want to say, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to see more videos like this. Also, I have been getting comments like, oh my god, Lasalle is my dream college, can you make more videos and stuff like that. And because I'm not studying at Lasalle anymore, I don't really know what you guys want to see. So if there's any specific content that I can make and that you want to watch, please let me know down in the comments. Also, I don't know when this video is gonna go up and whether it's gonna be before my week in the life video, but whatever the case is, I'm not telling you guys which university I'm going to yet because I want you to find out from that video. And so yeah, if you want, you can guess in the comments and maybe I'll like your comment to confirm that that's where I'm going, but I highly doubt that you'll be able to guess. But anyway, now I'm just blabbering because I'm so tired. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to repeat myself. Please like, share and subscribe for more art and design content. And I will shut up now and see you next time. Bye.